Hey guys, Alex with the Artifact Company in Jackson Galleries coming to you on July 31st, 2023. And I've got a submission here of 3 items from a gentleman in Florida. Alex, please hope you're having an amazing summer. Enclosed are 3 pieces I'd like you to check out. Alright, here's the first piece. 2 3/16 inch blue-gray Newnan. Santa Fe River Basin, Florida, with an X collection attached to it. Very nice. Put that up there. 3 3¼ inch 3/4 groove axe, Lewis County, Missouri, with some good another good collection attached to it. Got a nice little collector tag there. It says A-12-97. Ewing, Missouri, Lewis County, Missouri. Very nice. Looks like a nice little well-made axe. The last piece, 4 3/8 inch Knobbed Hardin. This piece is made a little strange. It's got a lot of random, bigger, broad percussion flakes across the blade face. I don't know if you can tell that on the video. There's no secondary edge retouch and no bevel. Might be something going on here. Okay. Those are the 3 that have come in. And let's go to the microscope. Okay, guys. We're over here at the microscope, and here's this gray Newnan. Okay, and we've got some good infiltration of some sand grains down in some of the lower pitted areas. I do not see any metal tooling. There's a nice fossil inclusion. Some good surface polish on it. One of the things that happens with Florida pieces is a lot of times collectors will soak them in mineral oil to enhance the color of the stone. Some more nice sand infiltration. This may be a little fresher nick right there. So I just want to remind you guys of our special that we have running on evaluations through the end of the year. The details of which can be found on the jacksongalleries.com website, which will be linked in the description below. Alright, little Newnan's going to be getting a COA. And here is the axe. I'm at 15x currently, by the way. Oh boy, look. If you remember back to our axe video a couple months ago, this is a better view showing some really nice use-wear polish on the bit of this axe. This use-wear polish is... Someone brought up that it looks striated. Well, it is striated, but it's not in the way that a sandpaper would be. This is much more of a smooth transition. Think of it like if you've ever seen rocks in a stream and the little eddy currents behind them. That's kind of how these look. Little nick here on the edge. I'm going to flip it over and look at the other side. Good looking surface deposit there, or decay product from one of these feldspar inclusions. We're headed down towards the groove. Another surface deposits. No unweathered sulfides yet. We're going to look at the pole. Got a nice little mineral deposit there. And this is probably a plow strike here. Now looking in the groove. Also some polish in the groove from certainly around the saddle top of the piece from being wiggling in the haft. Another nice deposit. Okay, well, this axe is going to get a COA. Now let's look at this unusual hardened point. Alright, so down here at the tip looks like we've got some good minerals. Lots of weathered out cavities, and then more good mineral deposits. More good mineral deposits. Let's look at the other blade edge here. Let's flip it over. Another nice mineral deposit. Mineral deposit. Good mineral deposits in the middle of the blade face. Let's start looking at the base. Uh-oh. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see this, but there's a distinct color change and texture. You see how the surface of this is somewhat polished, and then you get over here and this looks a little more satin or flat. So this looks like a new flake. This looks like a newer flake. This one pretty much all the way around here. Let's look at this side. Yeah, this looks like a new flake. New flake. New flake. They've rubbed some sort of gray material down in here, and looks like they've even tried to sand out this notch. Let's look at the other one now. Oh yeah, look, we've got a real nice metal streak here. So this is a new flake. I don't know if you can tell the texture here. There's a slight different color, kind of almost a bluer looking flake there versus this field over here. Newer flake. New flake. Oh, and we've got some sanding striations showing up right here. See if I can get that to show. Yeah, you should be able to see that right there in the middle of the screen. Sandpaper or something. And then this stain of some type through here, and rolling over to the back side. Okay, I wonder who BY or BV was. So this would be a good candidate for ultraviolet examination. We've not talked about a black light yet on the channel. When you're using a black light, you're looking for a fluorescence difference between these areas up here where you've got a good mineral deposit and a good looking surface, and the suspect areas, which in this case is this notch and this notch, right? Do you remember we talked about how there's some construction flaws or inaccuracies that I noticed right away with the way that the blade was flaked versus the base, and I'm calling it a hardened point. Hardened points are not typically made like this particular example with these big broad flakes and no resharpening. No secondary edge retouch. So when we take this to the black light, what we want to see is we do want to see these areas fluoresce in 2 different colors, and that would be a positive result. If they don't fluoresce differently, then it's not conclusive at all. Okay, because some people think that you can use blacklight to rely on proving a piece is rechipped or not. Well, only when you get that positive result that might show up when we go in the other room. Okay, so if you get that positive result that follows those flaking scars that are suspect, then yes, you can say then that the blacklight illustrated that well. So let's go back in the other room and pull out the black lights, and I'll explain the 2 different types that are available for people to use. Alright guys, so here we are back on the photo stand, and we're going to blacklight this piece and see what we see. Okay, now we've not talked about black lights yet on this channel. However, if you're interested in understanding more about this after this video, you can review an article that I wrote several years ago. There'll be a link in the video description. So there's 2 kinds of black lights that we can use. Okay, the first one is this kind. This is fluorescent, what they call UVA or UVB bulb. This is the common black light that you'll find in CC. I've turned it on here. You'll see these at places like Spencer's Gifts or Hot Topic, or this is what they used back in the 70s on those old glow-in-the-dark posters. All right. So this particular type of UV will fluoresce certain types of items. It doesn't always work, and so there's a caution with black light that if you don't get a positive result that follows the flaking scars on the piece, which in this case we're going to try to focus in the basal region, that doesn't mean that it's not rechipped or a newer situation going on, as we saw under the microscope with this piece. So the other option is what's called a UVC bulb, and you'll notice immediately that this bulb is clear. Okay, now what's different between these 2 is these are both functionally identical, except this bulb has a coating on the inside of the glass that reacts with the UV light that this produces to then convert that to UVA or UVB light that these higher wavelength black lights, or sorry, lower wavelength black lights use. Okay, now this UVC bulb is very special. Sometimes they're called germicidal lamps. This is not glass. This is actually made out of quartz. There's no coating on the inside. This is how the UVC is able to get out. UVC is stopped by most things pretty quickly. Normal glass will reduce the effectiveness of UVC. So, and one thing you'll notice is that you can actually see there's a little, see if I can get it to, can you see that little thing? That's a ball of mercury. So when I plug this guy in, you're going to notice an entirely different color lamp. Instead of this dark purple, you're kind of going to get a blue. All right? Now, this UVC does not work very well for this type of examination unless you're using a specialty camera or a filter to try to look through and see what you can see. And I'll demonstrate that here right now. Hopefully the camera can maintain focus as I turn these lights off. All right, so obviously this is closer in appearance than to a normal fluorescent tube in terms of the light coming out than the black light would be. But we are seeing some, you can see some fluorescence there. So if I had the filter on there, I could probably get a result. Now let's try the other one. I hope you can see that. Much more readily visible on the scope. You can see the rechipped areas very well. Apparently on this camera, actually it's picking it up pretty good. Okay, so this piece has been rechipped. Let me turn the lights back on. I took some ultraviolet photography pictures of this earlier. I'll put those up on the screen. May not be as abrupt as what we just saw, but anyhow, that gets the picture. You get the picture on what's going on here. So unfortunately for this guy, this piece will not end up with a COA, and we will be writing up a detailed turn down letter on it for him. Okay guys, that's all I've got for you today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that little notification icon. It really helps us out here. So if you have anything else that you'd like us to show in upcoming videos, or some concept you'd like us to address, please feel free to let us know. All right, y'all have a good day.